If you'd like to see how to turn this into this with a spindle moulder, stick around. I've just resawn a bunch of this 2x10 that I'm going to use for some baseboards, and as to be expected, it's relieved a bunch of tension in the boards, and I've ended up with a crook in each of the boards, some worse than others, but you can see, you know, it's quite the bow to them. Because these are just baseboards, they're going to be nailed back, so it's not really that important to get them flat, just, you know, two parallel sides to it obviously, and then I'll do the moulding. So we'll start by simply planing them, putting them through the planer on both sides, get them down to the thickness that we want. If the boards were really rough, I might use the power feeder on the jointer to flatten one face first before putting them through the thickness planer. Thankfully though, these are nicely sawn, so I'm just going to take light passes through the thicknesser to get to the 19mm thickness that I'm after. This next process will be to straight line rip one edge on the boards using the slider. If I didn't have the slider, I guess the next best thing would be a track saw. Here I'm putting the short fence on for making the parallel rip cuts. Time to change out this spindle. For this operation I'm going to use the router spindle. So the reeded section of profile goes a long way down from the top edge of the board, and even with the spindle at its highest, I can't make the cut furthest from that top edge. Because of this, I'm going to set up an outboard fence with the router spindle. I'll use a little 1/4" radius bit with a very sharp point to get the profile I need. I like to, well you should, good practice, to just lift the router bit up off the bottom of the collet, so that when you actually tighten it down, it's not bottoming it out on the end of the router bit, and it will actually tighten up. So these are just a plain old 3/4" bolt, and I've literally cut the sides off it so that it will fit in the groove, and then simply turn it 90 degrees, and that'll actually cinch down on the table. So the gas strut for the power feeder really makes lifting these heavy beasts easy. Now I'm just going to try and make sure that I have it so that it's pulling it in towards this outboard fence, or out, I guess, towards the outboard fence. Okay, last setup with the router spindle. I just need to move this forward by another 11mm. Perfect. Now I've got the 1¼ inch spindle back in the machine and I'm just setting up to do the profile on the top edge. For the top profile on the baseboards, I'm using a multi-profile limiter head. I find these heads super handy. I can get blank knives, grind them to whatever shape I need, and when I'm doing small runs of custom mouldings, they're by far the most cost-effective solution. One process I didn't video is the back cut. It's simply a series of shallow cuts made with a dado stack in the back of the boards that not only makes it easier to fit them up on uneven surfaces, but also even out the stresses from the machining process on the front face and hopefully keep things from cupping. Well, you're still here. You made it to the end of the video, so that's awesome. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more of this sort of content, please hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And yeah, feel free to leave a comment in the section below. We'll see you next video.